Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the SP404 Mark II, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Hakucho64 writes in and asks what I believe are pros and cons of TRREC versus real-time recording, and I will start by saying, at this point, they're kind of similar, although I think TRREC is better if you want to be on a 16-note grid for sure. But real-time rec with quantization and the strength parameter will get you about the same. There are a few things I like to do in TRREC mode that I'll get into, some things I don't like to do in it, and real-time recording. So let's just kind of go through it. First, just go into a pattern. Let's make it 1 bar. The strength, honestly, if you really want to be on the grid, just turn it all the way up. And this can be really good for just laying down some kicks and snares. So, got it going already, because I was peaking on my mixer, so I'll turn that down a little bit. So this is like super cool. It's on the grid. I just had to put strength to 100%. I could do the exact same thing with TRREC, and we'll get to that in a second, but something that's a little bit harder to do is, say I want strength all the way down. I want it off, because I want my hats to kind of be all over the place, and I don't want it to be quantized. Just turn strength off. Like, these hats are not on the grid. I mean, they might be close for how I just played it, but it's going to be very hard to take and program where they are exactly on the grid to do that in TRREC, because you'll see in a second, if we exit out and come in here, we'll go rec, we'll hit remain just to switch to TRREC now, hit record. Let's go look at these hats. So we can come in and do pattern edit on any of these. So we're on step 0. That's a good sign. We're on step the second pad here. We're on 108. That one's like super late and really should be probably almost on 3. We can see 4 actually has 2 events on it. It's late and then almost into 5 here. This is a little late. That's quite late. It's like almost like halfway through. A little late. Getting kind of late. Like halfway. So you can see, like, I didn't play this very well. And if you're wondering how to get in here, I'm just holding down pattern edit, and then you can hit the pad. This is just how you get into microscope to see what the values of the pattern pads, or the pads in your pattern are. So I would say, like, I don't know. Personally, I like to, from time to time, kind of just have notes kind of fall where you hear them, where they sound, or just kind of play things and let them be off, because that can make things more interesting and kind of more humanized. And that can also be problematic. So sometimes you want to use TRREC mode to actually get in and like laser focus where things should go. And other times you just need to kind of let them go where they're going to go and live where they deserve to live. I find that especially when working with like melodic content or musical, I tend to get a little bit more prescriptive often with a lot of the drum parts that I'm programming. But for today, we're just going to talk through drums pieces. Anyway, that's kind of what I would do if I was trying to get something in here using real-time recording, would be to go about and take the elements that I want to be quantized, record those in first, and then start recording around that with strength off, or maybe like swing or other parameters turned on for quantizing to kind of move some of the notes around. Get a little more action, excitement, make it so it doesn't just sound like it's a super robotic programmed piece of content. Now, to do the same thing, or at least similar, in TRREC mode, there's a few ways we can go about this, but I'm just going to do the same thing. We'll go 1 bar, and this time, maybe we'll just do like a different pattern, but I'm just going to do 1 bar, shuffle off. We'll hit record. It immediately just dumps in, which is kind of nice. And if I hold subpad, we'll just get that kick. The one thing I don't like about TRREC mode is if you want it to be maximum velocity, you have, like, it's always defaulting to 90. You can't really dial it in, because when you hold shift down, you're getting into a different set of parameters. So you're kind of, the granularity and expressiveness for velocity, it's fine by and large, but it's not quite as good as like what I'd like it to be all the time. But, you know, I can come in and play notes quite quickly to lay out a pattern. And if I still want that flexibility of kind of playing notes that are off grid, I can use the record button to start recording in some notes. And you can see there's like this one probably should be up here, so I can like just kind of move it. And if I don't like it, I can take them out. So I would say like a nice thing about TR-Rec is, like if you're working on like 1 bar or 2 bars, you can get in, add notes, and remove notes super quickly. Whereas in real time, you gotta just do it like one at a time. Or if you're finger drumming and doing like a bunch of pads at the same time, you can totally do it and get multiple events in, but it's not as easy to remove events. So yeah, subpad, selecting what you want to work on, a little bit more troublesome to do, but you can get like events added much faster. And real-time rec, because you can much more easily play multiple events at the same time. It's easier to kind of lay out if you're like finger drumming or doing other stuff and getting that in place. So anyway, Hakucho64, thank you for reaching out. I hope this kind of helps give you my thoughts on the SP404 Mark II's real-time recording versus TR-Rec recording for pattern mode. And everybody else, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.